Well, this just must be one of the crazier things that I've ever heard of, or at least that a professional football team or organization has ever done. This is just crazy to me. So, this is a huge game tomorrow night, right? And each team wants the biggest advantage that they can possibly have. And for the Detroit Lions, that's maintaining our home field advantage, which means, all of the season ticket holders need to be in concert here. You should not be selling your tickets, and if you have to sell them, there's plenty of Lions fans out there that would have bought them. But this is just a crazy situation where the Minnesota Vikings purchased $2 million worth of tickets on the secondary market to ensure that Vikings fans would be able to show up in the stadium, one, to take in the game, but two, to be, taking up some space, right? Removing our voices, helping to eliminate some of that home field advantage. Is it going to work for them? Let me go through this article and tell you what happened. I think you're going to be a little bit surprised at what they did and how this all unfolded. I mean, it has got to be one of the crazier stories that I've read this year, or at least, with tickets. Like, this is nuts. So, anyway, ahead of the huge game tomorrow, the Vikings purchased roughly 1,900 tickets on the secondary market, spending $2 million. But get this, they turn around and gave them to their season ticket holders for $200. So the Vikings invested in their own fans to go see the game. That's pretty cool. I got to tip my hat to them for that. I mean, the Lions have never done that. Like when we headed out to the NFC Championship, they didn't say, "Hey, let me buy some tickets for you guys and give you a discounted price." Nope, we spent $2,000 on 2 tickets. So pretty cool. Pretty cool that they did that. Maybe the Lions need to learn something from that. So anyway, the Vikings also informed fans that these tickets were intended for their personal use and not for resale. So they weren't supposed to resell them. But according to Albert Breer, the Lions noticed a very unusual purchasing activity here and flagged it, and later became aware of a Vikings email, which basically said that as a valued season ticket member, we want to offer you the opportunity to purchase lower level seats for Sunday night's game. Now, the Lions reportedly contacted the league office about this strategic move that the Vikings just unleashed, and informed, the Lions were informed that they didn't break any rules. Well, of course they did. They just purchased tickets. So the tickets the Vikings purchased are concentrated behind the visitors' bench at Ford Field. So not only will they have a ton of support behind the bench, but they'll have a ton of Vikings fans together in the lower bowl. That is where we need our people to be, in the lower bowl. Come on, guys. You sold your tickets for what? $300? That's about what you made? And here, let me explain why. Or how, at least. This is nuts here. So the situation that the Lions kind of caught on to was some very weird transactions going on with a season ticket holder's ticket. So the the season ticket holders sold their seat on the secondary market for $724. So when I say maybe a few $100, we know that the tickets in the lower bowl for season ticket holders are roughly $350, depending on where you're sitting. So you couldn't have made more than $350, more than likely. Now, the buyer then resold that ticket to a company called Advantage Tickets. It's also a company that the Vikings work with. But get this, they sold that ticket for $1,200. So the season ticket holder sells it for $724. They make $300. And then Advantage Tickets resells the ticket for $1,200. Doesn't make any sense. Right? Then the Vikings sold the tickets to a season ticket holder for $300. And then that season ticket holder for the Vikings turned around and resold it for $690. The same ticket got sold 4 times. Everybody's made money. When you add up the cost of this one ticket, I mean, you've got to add it all up, right? This is a $3,000 ticket to sit in the lower bowl by the time you've gone through all these transactions. $3,000 were just made on one ticket. That's insanity to me. Now, obviously, this is a winner-take-all game, right? And every team wants to have their advantage. And for the Lions, it's home field advantage. We want to have our Lions fans everywhere in that stadium being loud, not giving up an inch to any Vikings fans. This is the biggest game of the season right now. Without this game, and without the Lions winning this game, not only do they have the hardest path to the Super Bowl, but is it extremely unlikely that the Lions can actually make the Super Bowl as a 5th seed, because it's rarely been done. It's been done once by the 2007 Giants. Once. So if you sold your tickets as a season ticket holder for the Detroit Lions, shame on you. I'm very disappointed, because there is plenty of people, even if you couldn't go to the game, there are plenty of people that would have loved to have taken your spot. Yeah, maybe you didn't make $300-400 on your ticket, but you would have put somebody in your seat, even if you gave it to them at cost, to make sure that the Lions had the best advantage possible. Now, I get it. It's only 1,900 tickets, out of what, 75,000 that are probably going to end up being there with standing room only. But that is still a big lump sum of fans in the lower bowl right behind the Vikings bench. So anyway, shame on you, but again, I'm going to tip my hat to the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe some other teams around the league can learn something from this. I tell you what, the art of war is alive and well in the NFL. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Go One Pride. Go Detroit Lions. Peace out.